My favorite thing to do right now is spend time with my family. There's nothing more precious than, whether it be, up in the bouncy castle upstairs, or building blocks, or going to the gym, or going to see the kids' friends, or every weekend when we have 28 birthday parties to go to. And, it's amazing. I mean, I loved that stuff before, but holy smokes, when the rug gets pulled out from underneath you, it just makes you so much more aware and hypersensitive to just the beauty and the people and the places and the things around you.
Just seeing him, I think, just as a dad in general, I think just makes me the happiest. And he's the best dad. He's just always present, and he does everything for the kids, whatever they need. He helps me out so much, and I just would not be able to do it without him.
The example that my parents set out for me, putting family first and, always telling the people you love that you love them, I think that's more valuable than you could ever imagine. I think that it's so, so important. You could never tell the people in your life that you love them enough. Well, today's date is October 20th, 2022, and we're in the beautiful fall of the year in Bowring Park. So since we last spoke, I went in for my most recent round of cancer treatments, and then we had our all-important scans. I just started respectfully hounding everybody, calling everybody over at Nuclear Medicine. Hey, it's Michael Dawe. I got my scans done Friday. Are the results back? Eventually, I got a front desk staff at Nuclear Medicine, and she's like, yep, the results are in. And I eventually get an appointment that afternoon with one of my physicians on my team. And my doctor looks me dead in the eye, reads the script of the results, word for word, and then the magic words, Michael, you're cancer-free. And I was so excited, I got her to repeat it over and over and over. And to hear those words was, even though it's what you've been hoping and waiting for, it was still just so surreal to finally be at this point.
So he FaceTimed. All I could see were the thumbs up. And he never said a word, just thumbs up. And he had a grin, the typical Michael big grin on his face. He was so happy.
Big day, we got the news. Cancer-free, baby, let's go. Let's go. Woo!
Yeah, we were just kind of elated that it was all in the rear view.
Me and Shanine went out for sushi for lunch, and we got home, and Mom and Dad are there with Darcy, and we picked up Damon, and we come home.
So then they got into the rum. They were having a few shots.
The party was really on then, holy smokes. And my dad went full Frank the Tank from an old school mode of just a victory drink, fill it up again, victory drink, fill it up again. He was a man on a mission. He was more pumped than me.
He was out in the driveway, yes, yes, he was just so excited. It was just total exhilaration all around.
Mike was celebrating, and he went around told his closest family and friends and all the good news.
Well, what's the Newfoundland thing to do? We'll raise a glass to you and we'll have a celebratory drink. That's fine for everybody else having one. I'm having one 15 times. My goodness, for a Monday night, I stayed up past my usual 9:30 bedtime, I'll tell you that. I was just on cloud nine the next day. We dropped Damon off at school the next morning, and me and Shanine and Darcy went out for a hike. I just felt like I was floating, man. It was awesome. And so it was about 9:30 on what was now Wednesday, the 28th of September, and I called over to the endocrine clinic. The registered nurse specialist that I've been working with there she is such a rock star, and the type of registered nurse that like I, in my own domain, would love to model myself after. And I like the whole reason I was calling was to make sure she heard the news. I wanted to thank her again for all her time and support. And there was a pause in her, which I didn't expect. And all she said to me was like, hold on, what's your understanding of what's going on right now? I said, my understanding? I mean, I'm cancer-free, I'm in remission, I was told on Monday. She said, those results as communicated to you aren't accurate. That's not correct. And she had told me that actually, though the scan was clear, my blood work had come back after the fact. And she's like, you need to call your GP and you need to do this and this and this, and lift me out a bunch of different things that I had to do because my blood work had come back and my like main tumor marker had significantly shot up, which is indicative that my cancer is back, growing, spread. And we got nothing but more digging to do here because this is a problem. Oh man, a false remission. That's not something I think anybody could prepare you for. That's not something I've ever even heard of, to be told that you've been given the wrong results and that it was incorrectly communicated to you. 44 hours after I'm told I'm cancer-free, I'm very much not cancer-free. I never was. And we got a whole nother can of worms that just opened up.
When he came in, I knew by the look on his face something horrible was going on.
And I couldn't even explain to them how this was happening because even since that time, my specialists still don't understand what's going on and what's causing this. And you know, we're right back in the grind now. I mean, I have seen my specialist twice in this small amount of time since. I had blood work done yesterday. I have an ultrasound tomorrow.
All right, here we are, next round of ultrasounds.
My specialist is going to be presenting me a team rounds because, again, she wants to get more specialists involved from different disciplines to make sure that we're going to approach this in the wisest way possible. I am so glad to be doing this because by throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, we'll dial it in and know what we have and to figure out if or how we can treat it. Man, this is terrifying stuff. I mean, I was there talking to my specialist and she's like, you know, we have to check if this is spread to your brain. We have to check to see if this is spread to your lungs, your blood, you know, if it's in your lymph system. You know, there's so many different things we have to check right now. And I hope it's not all the above, but I am just physically and emotionally lost right now, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to feel, up at night just wondering, like, where is this going? I just am very, man, it's been a really challenging month.
We didn't know the plan going forward at that point, so it was all kind of up in the air. And that was probably those few days or weeks between finding out that there was the cancer was back and like finding out the plan for the treatment. I think that was harder than like the whole year prior. The waiting is probably the hardest part. And then he got the results that his cancer was back, and then the waiting to find out what the treatment course would be, and then waiting to get the pathology reports, waiting for appointments. It's been, I think, the hardest, just waiting. And then obviously with that comes like nerves and worry and all that, so.
The ups and downs that come with a diagnosis that's shifting constantly, especially when you're young and you have a family and you're trying to get on with your life and move on, can be extremely challenging for people.
Holy smokes, man. This has been an absolute blender of a week. It's been rockier than the road to Dublin, but man, yesterday sucked. And I don't normally say that, but to be so caught off guard when I was telling friends and so excited about all this news, and to hear this was just a real punch in the guts. So I don't know, I just kind of had to let it out and be grumpy bear yesterday. The head, I'm trying to get it back in the game here today. It is really, it's really weird recalibrating this, because now we got to figure out what's causing this. My scan was clear. A lot of the other markers are good, but this one in particular is a big cause for concern. So we got to figure out what's going on. And I mean, I just told the doctors, I'll do whatever we got to do. If that's more tests, more investigations, scans, whatever it is, we're going to do it. The goal very much remains the same. And, we're going to fight this and we're going to win. It's just, it very much feels like, like we just got a goal called back for a delayed offside or something. This is oh man. So to anybody that says that thyroid cancer is a walk in the park, don't ever say that again.
There's nothing drives him crazier is when you hear someone say, oh, that's a good cancer. There's no such thing as a good cancer.
Oh yeah, thyroid cancer, nothing to that. It's a good one to get. Don't worry about it. Nothing to it. Thankfully, it is treatable. It is something that we can, have a very set protocol of how to address it. But, it's far from good. And I mean, I will go on record saying this. The next person that tells me that at least I don't look sick, or at least I don't look like a cancer patient, I'm going to powerbomb them through a table. Looks are very much not my concern right now. It is such a well-intentioned comment that misses the mark by so many miles. I've gotten that comment so many times, and it drives me crazy. This is constantly bothering me. It's constantly worrying me. It's got my whole family upside down.
Cancer is such a customized experience. It is very natural and normal to do the comparisons to others, and I totally get that. But it's your path. You can have the same guys, same diagnosis, same treatment, same age, and have totally different experiences. So everyone got to cut their own path.
I don't know, you can waste a lot of mental and physical energy trying to talk about what other people have experienced. I know that it's there, but I'm not interested in it, because I have to just go to my appointments, focus on the information that is presented to me by the professionals I'm seeing, and not get lost in the shuffle of other people.
What I love about Mike so much is he's inserted purpose and focus and a goal, or several, into that space. And that's how he's dealing with that space, one of the ways. And there's pure power in that, is to take this challenge, this pain, and turn it into power. And that's a really beautiful thing when we see that in people, and we get to see it at YACC all the time. And I love to see that in Mike. I know it is a challenge, though. It is this space of, is your health solid? And sometimes it's tests, sometimes it's time that you need to reassure you of that, or both. And I know that that's a big part of where Mike is right now.
The way that Mike is dealing with it is, it's probably the way I would deal with it, in the fact that you're faced with this big challenge, so you want to do whatever you possibly can. Now, I don't think many people, and I know I couldn't, do exactly what he did, where he's just gone and done one of the most challenging things you could possibly ever do. But if that's what he needed to do to keep his mind off it and keep in a positive headspace, then all the power to him. I think that for people that are looking at his story and saying, I could never do that, well, sometimes when life gives you lemonade, you make orange juice and make them wonder how you did it, right? And I think that's what he's done. And so all of us are different, but the attitude of doing what you can and fighting, and not just taking a diagnosis and dealing with it that way, but actually doing something about it, I think is something that worked well for him in his mental health, because I'm sure he's been up and down like a roller coaster.
I'm seeing a new specialist now to kind of figure out where we're going from here. Shifting the conversation back to what we can control right now. She said, well, what race are you signed up for right now? I said, well, the Cape Cabot is next Sunday. This is gonna get scary for a little while. So this is how you've been dealing with it. It obviously works for you. Do the race next Sunday and then sign up for something else, because that's what's gonna occupy your mind and your body and work your way through this.
And exercise releases feel-good hormones. It gives us movement and makes us feel accomplished. It allows us to train towards a goal, like Mike has done with his triathlons. So when it comes to emotional agility and the ability to cope with day-to-day life, exercise is a great way to sort of release all that stress. And I think that's why it's such a powerful tool for somebody like Mike.
All right, here we go. Cape Cod 2022. Beautiful day. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Come on. Man, couldn't ask for better. Conditions are nothing short of humane. The wind is up, whatever. Keep you nice and awake. We're running today for the beauty of running, and we're running today for all the 22 young adults diagnosed with cancer in Canada every single day. Something feels extra special this year. I'm going to enjoy the start line and everything thereafter. Let's go, baby. Cape Cod 2022. Come on.
That morning, I was so excited. It was a beautiful, cold morning, and I had a lot of friends that were running, and I knew I'd have family and friends along the way. I was so happy to be there.
Woo! Come on, come on! Victory, baby, let's go! Let's go, Mikey. Woo! Let's go!
It all meant so much to me. One of my best friends gave me the YACC flag to take up the last mile, and again, just such a visual, strong statement of we're all gonna go do this together.
Almost there, let's go, come on! You never look better! This is for Shane, this is for Darcy, this is for Damon, this is for YACC. I can run today. I can run today.
That was Sunday morning. Sure, that Friday, 48 hours before, I was getting my pre-op imaging done, and the tech finds a large abnormality and has to page the radiologist down immediately. That's exactly what happened when this was first found, and all of a sudden, once again, here we go, a bunch of biopsies are getting taken in my neck. The results weren't back yet, but I knew where this was going, man. I just kind of zipped myself up and, went through the race.
You're afraid today? We got people all the way up the hill.
Do I gotta keep it under 20?
What?
Speed limit 20.
No, you can go whatever speed you want,
I can floor it?
You can floor it, you give it.
Okay.
Awesome job.
That was just in the back of my mind, and I think just when I came across the finish line, that was that emotion pouring out. It was the harsh reality of the fact that, this is gonna get bumpy again for a while.
Congratulations, Mike Dog.
Come on!
Don't worry,
We did it! Yes, sir!
Great run, great run.
And coming in with the flag up at the end, if that doesn't inspire people, I don't know what will.
And, to see Shanine and the kids there at the finish line and my folks and some friends, and I just emotionally came undone all at once.
No, thank you. We did it. We did it.
It all came out of me. I've been putting on the brave face and really just trying to be strong for myself and the wife and the kids, and how hard this has been on my parents, and the floodgates just opened. Well, it's Wednesday, November 30th, 2022, and sitting here on beautiful Signal Hill, and it is the day before we try again to have my surgery. Since we've gone thrown right back into the mix again with my inaccurate results when I was told that I was cancer-free, we found that there was a big tumor in my neck and it's got to come out immediately.
He came here with the results that cancer was back. And we were sitting here and it was just shocking to see that it was back after, first of all, having such a good report, and then to see that, sorry, no, it's not that good after all. And to see him going through that, seeing your son go through so much, it broke my heart,
My heart goes out to Wayne and Mary and his parents, because there's nothing worse in the world when, you come and your child has cancer and they tell you, how do you cope with that? You're the parent, you gotta be positive, you gotta be strong. Not an easy thing to do.
Cancer is a diagnosis that impacts everybody in your life, your friends, your family, your parents, your kids. He's got a young family.
Marion and I were staying in pretty close contact and just kind of counting down the days till he got the results and everything. But yeah, it's been tough on them. But like everything, I think the reason Michael's the way he is because they go with a positive approach and just deal with it as it comes.
All right, it's November 9th, 2022, and the last 6 weeks we've dove right back into it. I've gone from being told after 3 weeks of treatment and blood works and scans that I was cancer-free, 44 hours later being told that the results I was given were inaccurate, and we're right back in it now. I've had my Thyroid injections this week, Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. Just did my full PET scan with the radioactive dye that goes through it, and now I'm on to the pre-op because we got surgery again for this big tumor that was found in my neck on the ultrasound that was done on October 21st. It's hard to even keep track of right now because, I mean, I've gone from cancer-free to right back in the woods of this, and it makes you certainly appreciate the people around you even more than I already did. I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, the kids got to come first here, and, you know, making sure that they're looked after and having, you know, supportive family and people that can just help us, you know, make sure that their needs are met. And, you know, my folks are down with Darcy, and Damon's up at such a wonderful school there now, and it's such a relief to know that they're looked after because, man, this is a busy week with all this stuff going on. So that's a long walk into the appointment there this morning. And now, you know, that's the hard part. We don't know what's going on. We just got to wait. So this is the stuff that I hate. This is definitely the hardest stuff yet because I'm not in control. Just got to wait. So with that said, I got an hour and a half. I'm going to go pick up coffee and bring it to Shanine. Just an excuse to see her and give her a kiss. And then on to the pre-op. Then the countdown's on until the knife again on Monday. Onward, let's go. I was scheduled to have surgery on November 14th. 7 hours of waiting around, and then the charge nurse called me in and said, well, we got to cancel your surgery because we don't have a post-op bed. Really tough day. It's a lot harder to see the positive sometimes, but all I can say is that I wouldn't be here with this lovely little lady if that surgery had gone ahead on Monday. I guess it's all happening for a reason. But with that said, we gotta go pick up Brother Bear, go home and bundle up because it's getting cold and it's gonna snow tomorrow. So Darcy, baby, we love you. And what an absolutely beautiful day. Torrey Point, Dawe family is out. We're gonna try again for tomorrow morning. We're gonna try to get this surgery done and move into the next phase of treatments. It's been a wild 2 months. Good morning, everybody. December 1st, early Merry Christmas. Here we go, surgery number 2, attempt number 2. It's a bad day to be cancer today. Round 2 of surgery, and this time we were successful in getting it done. Thankfully, it was a much more straightforward procedure, and I'm happy to say that the recovery from it has been so much better. So ultimately, we're looking at about 12 to 15 months of treatment ahead that we know of, barring any other twists and turns as we've seen them in the last while. So, I mean, it's forced me to grow. It's forced me to really put my priorities at the top, and everything else has kind of fallen by the wayside. I really need to spend my time wisely and to make sure that I spend as much possible time with my wife as I can, as much time as I can with the kids, and enjoy every single second of it. Hi!
You want to turn too?
Can you blow a kiss to Mom? Oh, yes.
Even if the prognosis is bleak and you don't know where you're going, you're going to try and find the beauty and the power and the fun and the love in every day. It's hard to do some days. I didn't do it every day, but I make the effort and try to, and especially when you're mindful of it, you try to find that. And that to me is a really powerful way to live your life. And that's what I love about Mike is he does find the beauty and the power, and at the same time He's not shutting off the feelings and the challenges and the emotions that come with his situation. He's allowing himself to process that, and he's eventually giving himself a kick in the ass and getting himself to keep moving forward too.
I think the last 2 years has been an incredibly emotional experience. This is how I've chose to deal with my cancer diagnosis. I needed something to completely occupy myself physically and mentally, and really just give me something to channel all the emotions of the last year or two. We just had to try to transform this into something bigger and more positive. And, you know, I want my kids to look back at this and being like, man, that was a really good example that Dad tried to set for us of how to really show up and, you know, keep about his business and, you know, always be there for us, and just the things that you got to do to work through this. To look at how many awesome things we've turned it into, and to start conversations and raise money for young adult cancer.
He's had like multiple people reach out on Facebook or Instagram.
I mean, we've raised like now almost 70 blood donations. You know, I've done some really cool races and really cool initiatives through this. I'm very proud of what we've turned it into. And I can hang my hat on that.
He's going to help a lot of people with this.
We've kind of seen him through all stages. When he was first born, we're so proud of him.
If I ever had a son, Michael would be the one.
Michael inspires me so much. He's just his whole attitude, like what he's going through, and yet he can be so positive. He's going with the flow, and he's dealing with it, and he's staying positive.
How do you wrap a situation where there is no real finish line, right? I mean, I'm going to be on blood work and scans regularly for the rest of my life. Hopefully, once we do get to remission, I can just stay on top of it, you know what I mean? But we're going to get there, man. And what a friggin' party we're gonna have that day, I'll tell you. It's so easy to feel alone in this because you're the name on the page, but there's so many people in your life that you can lean on and find supports. Just ask for help. Be patient, be kind, love yourself, and always try to find the light in the darkness.
My name is Jeff Eaton. I'm a two-time cancer survivor, and I'm the founder and executive director of Young Adult Cancer Canada. And I want you to know, if you're a young adult dealing with cancer, any cancer, any stage, YACC's got your back. We have a community of young adults just like you from coast to coast to coast that will have your back as well. If you're a supporter of a young adult with cancer, a parent, a health professional of any discipline, we want you to know YACC's got your back too. We are here to help young adults living with, through, and beyond cancer. Today is the right day for you to reach out to us. I've never heard a young adult say, I reached out to YACC too early. I have heard hundreds say, I wish I'd done it sooner. Make the connection today. We've got your back every step of the way forward.